Hey, what's going on, PricePlow Nation? All right, so the video you're about to see is an interview that Mike actually had over the phone with the owner, or actually co-owner of 5% Nutrition, a guy named Peter Hike. Now, Peter is typically a behind-the-scenes guy, not somebody that most people are aware of. But anyway, the following video is basically an interview between Mike and Peter, and he asks them a whole lot of questions. They talk about Rich's passing, they talk about new athletes within 5% Nutrition, new products that they're coming out with, and basically what the future of 5% Nutrition looks like. Now, a lot of you guys have been asking us about 5% Nutrition. Hey, what's going on with those guys since Rich's passing? And that's a very valid question. Well, hopefully this interview will answer some of you guys' questions. I know I personally, after listening to this, am incredibly excited about what 5% has coming in the future. I think that they definitely have an amazing foundation, and the guys behind the scene that we don't know as much about here on YouTube and in the public actually have a really amazing handle on everything within the company. So those of you that are 5% fans and have been kind of curious, you know, what's happening with 5% Nutrition, I think you're going to be very pleased with this video. So anyway, here it is, interview between Mike and Peter with 5% Nutrition.
Welcome to PricePlow.
So, Pete, I'm not sure, like, if you want to kind of rewind just a bit and tell me what you said, but basically you said that Rich left on top. You know, we would have loved a few more years of him, but he did live the life, and it wasn't a complete surprise. And he left on top. He left looking good, over 300 pounds, and there was no pictures circulating of him looking small or anything like that. So that's kind of something that he would have been happy or proud of, it seems like. And
yeah,
so,
it was sad that, Rich left us, caught us all off guard. But, we're all very familiar with the life Rich led, his steroid use, and it's sad, but, I think we all knew it would eventually catch up to him, and unfortunately it did. But when he left on top. He was 300 pounds. He was king of this industry. The last set of pictures of him was when he looked phenomenal, the best he's ever looked. He could have, let's say, gotten sick, and that happens, many times to movie stars and celebrities. They get sick, and all of a sudden their pictures of them weighing 120 pounds shows up on covers of magazines. I don't think Rich would have wanted that.
no.
And I don't think his fans would want to see that either. So
Right.
It's unfortunate he left, but he left king of this industry. In a sense, he was, a Michael Jordan or Peyton Manning, retiring, at the peak, and that's how we always remember them. And, that's how Rich left us.
Yeah.
And right now, as far as the company, Rich and I, we started this company.
I want to know, did you want your name out there? I'm not sure, like, you seem like you're more of a behind-the-scenes kind of guy, so...
Yeah, at this point, I think there's a lot of uncertainty of what's going on with the company, but I think now it's, I guess it's appropriate to come out and, let the people know that, Rich and I, we started the company 3.5 years ago. My background is in online retail with operations, and Rich's background, or what he brought to the table and brings to the table was, ideas, marketability, marketing. He came up with all these phenomenal products, and when we came together, the deal was I would handle all the operations, the back end aspect, and Rich would handle all the product designing and the marketing, and pretty much everything the customers see. Rich created. Anything on the back end was the areas that I handled, and that's how we operated, and it worked great. And but yeah, right now, as far as the company's future is really to keep his legacy and his name alive. He's impacted so many lives, millions of lives positively. It's up to us and this large team that we've created with Rich here to keep that movement alive. And he created a phenomenal movement. And there's many people that started movements in other areas and other industries and other countries and regions that they gave the ultimate sacrifice for that movement. And Rich did the same, but the movement continues on, and it's up to us here at 5% to continue that movement of 5% and keep Rich's name and his legacy alive. So that is our ultimate goal here. We're going to continue pushing, innovating, creating. We got some other great athletes that Rich really respected with Martyn Ford, Paulo, Big Drew, Jens. These are athletes that Rich not only respected but was very close friends to. And we will be leaning on them now to keep Rich's name and legacy alive.
So they're gonna continue to be like kind of a face of the brand. Not a face, but a supporting face. Rich is still the face of the brand.
Rich will always be the face of the brand.
And his name, his face and everything will be on the products and the labels, and rich-piana.com will still be around and all that.
Absolutely.
Okay, if you don't mind me asking, because I mean there was obviously a little bit of drama regarding the marriages and the wives and everything. Like, is the ownership of the actual company secured by you, and are there any conflicting interests that may
everything on top did not change. Actually, Rich, when Rich and I started the company, it was 50-50, and we operated that in the early few years. But before he married Sarah, he actually sold his portion to Jane Piana, which is his first ex-wife. Now, their relationship, they have a phenomenal relationship. Jane has been part of 5% from the beginning. They actually started the apparel line together out of their home, out of Rich's home. And she's been with the company from day one. And before Rich decided to marry Sarah, he signed everything over to Jane. And Jane has been technically the other 50% owner for over a year and a half, I guess, before Rich married Sarah. So she's been paying taxes, and as far as corporate top-end entity, that's how it's been for over a year and a half now. So none of that actually changes. Okay. Rich was always heavily involved. Rich and Jane, they communicated every day. There was nobody more in this world that Rich trusted more than Jane. So he knew everything was safe in Jane's hands. And it actually worked out because Rich and Sarah's relationship did not last, and they ended up getting split up and getting divorced. Right. So it actually kind of worked out as far as keeping the company solid and safe.
Okay, gotcha. So as of right now, you and Jane are still business partners, and that's really not been any different than it was over the last 18, 20 months or whatever. Exactly.
Yep. So any major
I'm not sure if that was out there or not. I think that was a concern for some people. I don't know if everyone knew that or what. So it's good to actually hear that.
Exactly. And, all major decisions were decided between Rich, my personality. He's in lots of action movies, acting. Our goal is to get him to move from the UK here to the US. So we're actively working on that, and he'll be hopefully here soon, and we'll be able to participate in new ideas for new videos, new products, new concepts, and really just helping us as far as that angle there and producing new content.
So for instance, where will all that content be found if viewers want to see that? It's going to be the 5% channels and the 5% Instagram and all that?
Exactly. So moving forward, all of our videos will be on the 5% nutrition channel. Now, we still do have some unedited footage of Rich that we will be releasing also on that channel. So I think we actually will be releasing some footage here shortly. But at the same time, we have Martyn Ford. We got some great footage that we're currently working on and we'll be releasing. And then we also have Big Drew, which is a local athlete, and he's also going to be one of the top-tier athletes that we're going to be seeing a lot more on the 5% Nutrition channel.
Awesome. Okay. So it sounds like, so are there going to be any major philosophical changes or any product changes, and anything, is anything going to be different outside of not having Rich?
The goal is no. Rich had a philosophy and a vision, and it's up to us to keep that philosophy and that vision alive. When it comes time to designing new products, we're going to be leaning on our top tier athletes. Big Drew is extremely knowledgeable in products. Martyn Ford, these are athletes that Rich, also respected, and they worked well, communicated well. They had a lot of the same visions and philosophies in bodybuilding and nutrition and supplementation. So we'll be leaning on these new athletes as far as some new ideas, but at the same time, every time a new product idea comes up, we're going to run a pass. Would Rich agree with this philosophy? Would Rich agree with this new product? And if we don't think that Rich would believe in it, we're not going to create it.
Awesome, man. You got to have a Rich filter in mind.
Yep, exactly. And we've myself and Jane and our team here, we've been working with Rich from the beginning. We got a great grasp on what Rich's likes and dislikes are. There's other products that that have been pitched, and we've seen Rich say no, that's not something that he's for or would want to move forward with. So those ideas were scrapped, and they won't come up again.
Like, I would imagine you're going to stick with not having a whey protein powder, since he seemed pretty adamantly against that.
Yeah, we would not come out with a whey protein. Now, would we come out with a protein product? We do have our egg white crystals, which is pure egg whites, and we love that product. Now, could we come out with a protein product that still fits into Rich's philosophy? Yeah, we may, and we have some ideas, but it would not be with whey.
Right.
It would not be a
kind of idea.
Exactly. It would not be a milk-derived protein.
Gotcha. Good. That's the kind of stuff I think people really appreciate hearing about. And in fact, if we want with these audio clips, TJ can probably make this into a YouTube video with some really cool B-roll and everything, if you wanted to give it a listen first and everything.
Yeah,
I think
you don't mind me
YouTube
listening to it.
YouTube is a great audience for, obviously it's the audience for Rich, who is a very visual character, so we might as well, put this where his people are at, and not everyone who's listening at 5% is always wanting to read a long blog post, but we could do that as well. So,
no, I'm open to that.
Okay, great. So, may I ask, what happened in the aftermath of the death? It's been a few months since then to now when you contacted me wanting to do this call. Is there any reason outside of grieving and everything that you wanted to that we had this delay? What was happening behind the scenes throughout the last couple of months?
I think it's more just accepting the new environment that we're in with the company. Rich was our spearhead. He was our leader. He was our founder. And losing him, I think it took time for the company to let that sink in and really motivate ourselves, saying that we're going to move forward. Rich would want his name, his legacy, his movement to be kept alive, and we're here to continue that on, and that's our ultimate goal. And we rally together here. We got an amazing team, some great people here, very positive people, 5% minded people here, and we're all on the same page. We want to continue to push forward and continue to come up with innovative products, create some great marketing, entertaining and educational material on YouTube and on our website, and continue to grow the brand and continue to grow the customer base and the followers, to keep preaching Rich's 5% meaning and movement. That's our ultimate goal, and we believe we have the team here to do it. We got some great athletes with Martyn Ford and Big Drew and Paulo and Jens and 100 other athletes that are part of our team. We want to continue doing expos. We're going to continue doing expos and continue pushing 5%.
Excellent. Okay, so one of the things I think that we especially respected out of Rich, obviously we're not like big steroid users or anything, but he was open about his cycles and everything. Is any of that kind of talk going to be on the 5% channel, or is that kind of going away because with the passing of Rich?
Actually, that really hasn't been discussed yet.
Okay.
It's something that I don't think we've really gotten to that question yet to figure out what direction that's going to head. And I think at the end it's going to be up to our athletes if they do if they use and if they want to be open on it. We're not going to push anybody. Our goal really is not to make anyone mimic Rich. You know, we want all of our athletes to be themselves. And I don't think Rich would want somebody to come in and try to be another Rich. There will never be another Rich Piana. Rich was such a unique person. He lived every day. He did what Rich wanted to do. And I wish we all could say that. And maybe some people will say, you know, oh, I do, you know, every day I do what I want to. No, Rich literally, he lived the life he wanted to live, and he enjoyed it, and he was very successful with it, and he impacted so many lives positively. You know, he was a special person, and there will never be another Rich. But, you know, we do have Martyn Ford, and he has that it factor. He looks great. He has an amazing personality, and I think, you know, given time, people will start seeing, you know, he's also a 5%er, and someone that I hope people will give an opportunity to follow and to listen to.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, I appreciate hearing that. Like, you don't want anyone to even try to copy Rich. Everyone's got to be themselves. That's important to hear, and I think people need to see when there's new videos out there. You know, there are obviously going to be a lot of comments, and I doubt you guys even deal with reading all those comments at this point. But there's going to be people who say, oh, but it's not Rich, and that's the idea. Is it really isn't Rich? It's this guy who's being himself.
No, and yeah, we don't want any of our athletes to want to change who they are. You know, they're 5%ers. You know, Rich created this movement. He was the founder. And you know, it's unfortunate, but you know, that first chapter of the 5% movement, you know, ended, and here it's a new chapter. You know, it's you know, life after Rich, and the movement is still here. He planted that seed in millions of people, and that seed is still is in millions of his fans and followers, and that's just not going to disappear. And it's our ultimate goal is to continue that seed and that fire in so many athletes and followers and fans of Rich, and that also believe in the 5% movement. So that's our goal, and we got we believe we have a great plan in place, and we believe we can keep it going and keep it alive. Rich, you know, the way he thought was just so different. You know, one thing about Rich is he, you know, us as a society, we all see things the same way. And one thing Rich said from the beginning when we started 5% is, you know, when this industry zigs, we need to zag. We need to keep creating innovative products, unique products, something that other people haven't seen before. And then if you look at what we've done as far as branding and as our product, we really created some unique products and unique ways of getting our brand out there. And you know, so to try to think of what Rich would want, you know, or come up with to say what Rich would want people to do would be difficult.
Absolutely. So let's move on to the products. You have a new bar that's out, and we haven't tried it yet, so we'd love to look forward to doing that. But can you kind of talk about that? Was that in Rich's pipeline, or is this a post-Rich product? And can you kind of talk about that a little bit? And then I guess after that we'll talk about if there's any other products we want to talk about in the pipeline. Yeah,
the RF bar, this has been a vision of Rich's for over a year. We actually been working on this bar for quite a while, and really the original concept of this bar was, you know, when we got to the point where Rich felt it was time for us to come out with a real food nutritional bar is, you know, one thing he called all the other protein bars out there are just protein candy bars. And if you really think about it, you know, I never heard that saying before. He's like, just take a look at some of these protein candy bars out there. You know, they're full of fillers and chemicals. They're not even real food. He's like, why would a real athlete put this in their body? It just never made sense to him. He says, what we need to come out with is a product made with real food for athletes. Let's not put chemicals in there. Let's not put fillers. You know, and we looked at some of these competing protein candy bars out there, and literally half of the ingredients is you have to be a contract manufacturer to even purchase. You wouldn't be able to go to a grocery store and buy these ingredients.
Right.
Here we are.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, here we are. You know, they're being purchased and consumed by the millions, and I think it's just the consumers out there. They don't have any other option. You know, that is what our industry has been producing, and it's a shame on our industry to produce really bars that aren't even real food. It's a shame you could barely pronounce some of these ingredients, or let alone even know what they come from. So the ultimate goal was with this bar, and what Rich wanted to create was a bar that was made with real food, where if you wanted to go to a grocery store and purchase the ingredients yourselves, you could, and if you want to take the time and make it yourself, you could. And that's what he wanted to do, was create a bar made with real food for athletes that he knew athletes would benefit from.
Mm-hmm. Good. Okay. Yeah, looking at some of the ingredients. So yeah, you did go with a prebiotic fiber base, but that's got that's from tapioca.
From tapioca. Cool. And that's
kind of the binding agent.
The binding agent to keep everything together. Now, as far as this bar, we could have went many different directions as who to manufacture it, and there are plenty of manufacturers here on the sports supplement side, but the bars, they were still used to the philosophy of just putting in all this extra garbage. And what we decided to do was, once again, when this industry zigs, we wanted to zag, and so we went down to the natural side. And we worked.
That's not typical on a protein bar.
And we found a manufacturer out in California that makes bars for the natural market, where they don't use, they do natural bars, organic bars, using real food and real ingredients. And we felt that with this bar's philosophy, it was more fitting to have a manufacturer that was used to making those types of bars for the natural market to create these bars. And, we had a couple sample bars and tweaked it, and by the time we were done with it, we were very satisfied with the nutritional facts and the taste and the ingredients, and we were very happy to be able to complete that project and be able to get it out to our customers and our fans.
That's great. Yeah, I'd always joke, there was a point where all these Me Too Quest bars kept coming out where it was like,
oh my God.
I was just joking that there must be some factory somewhere in Arkansas where they're just making this, everyone in the industry is getting their bars made at the same plant because they're all the same.
And that's exactly it.
My joke.
That's exactly it. There's only a few of them out there that make these bars, and they make all the bars. So that's why you don't see these bars from other brands. They're not really that different. And for us to be able to break the mold of this protein candy bar, we needed a whole different concept and a whole different approach. And I'm glad that Rich was able to come up with this idea. And it's sad that it took this long in our industry for this idea to come out, because it just makes sense. It really does.
Really, yeah. It sounds like you almost need someone. You can get caught into complacency, and you need someone as stubborn and bullheaded and headstrong as Rich to really drive it. And say, no, we're not going to do that, no matter how easy that process is. And hopefully you can keep with that that 5% mentality of if you want to be a top 5%er in your game, you can't accept complacency just because everyone else is making protein bars in that factory in Arkansas doesn't mean you can too. Not for a 5%er at least.
Exactly.
So you got to keep that in mind.
Exactly. That's perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So any other products in the pipeline then? And we would love to, of course, review the ARF bar, but we'll talk about that offline. But
definitely. You let me know. We'll send you a nice goodie box of.
For sure. And we, of course, always have to disclose. We're always honest. We always have to disclose that it was sent. I'm happy to buy it myself too. But either way, we're going to be unbiased. But after so after that, what else are you thinking? Are you going to retool any old stuff? Are you going to come out with more stuff? You've kind of mentioned a potential protein powder. Anything else?
Yeah, we always had a list of products that we wanted to work on. So, there was a couple products that we've been working on with Rich, and we're still going to. One of them is a joint support product, so that one we should be releasing here, knock on wood here, hopefully shortly. But we wanted to create once again, with 5%, we believe we are a premium brand. We want to create products that work. Products that top-tier athletes would look at and nod their head and saying, yeah, this is a good product. As far as new products, we have been working on numerous products with Rich,
the joint,
and we're going to continue on with those. And one of the new products that we are going to be coming out with is a joint support product. And as far as our products, one thing that we always try to achieve is a premium product that top tier athletes would take a look at the nutritional supplement facts and give it a nod, saying, yeah, this is a good product. These are athletes that have been working out for 10, 20 years. They know their stuff, and that's who we're designing these products for. And our goal is to make the best products in whichever category or angle we were trying to dive into. And we designed a joint support product that we believe will be the best product out there. It's an amazing product. We have type 2 collagen in there.
I was going to ask, what highlight ingredients did Rich like for that stuff? There's a lot of different angles you can take with joint stuff.
Yeah, just a couple key ingredients is, collagen. We didn't want to just do any collagen. You'll see collagen a lot, but most of the collagen other brands are using is type 1 and type 3, and that's more for skin, hair, and nail.
Right.
We actually use type 2 collagen, which is the collagen you would want for joint support and joint repair. And that's what
absolutely.
We do.
The UC2 I've seen has some studies on it and everything, so that's a good one.
And that's the preferred. And the reason you don't see a lot of it out there is because it's expensive. It's a pricey ingredient, but it works. But once again, we were creating a premium product for the athletes out there that want something that works. We got glucosamine, chondroitin, MSM. We also have a anti-inflammatory component in there, and it's a very robust joint support. So we're excited for it.
Is it a powder or pills? Because glucosamine
it's a powder.
A good dose. Yeah, I was going to say with glucosamine, you need a lot of pills, a lot of horse pills to make that happen, especially when you add the other stuff in. So
exactly, it would be too many pills to take to be able to get this proper dosage that we believe is going to help with the joint support that top tier athletes and athletes in general. They have knee pain, shoulder pains, elbow pains, and they want something to help them be able to continue to live their life, continue to work out. And we got a product here that we believe is going to be a great fit for their needs.
Sounds good. Now, one of the products that seems to have gotten lost in the shuffle because you launched it like right at the time of his passing, unfortunately, was Knock the F Out.
Knock the F Out.
What's the story?
Product.
What's the story of that? I don't think a lot of people. Rich's death obviously overshadowed pretty much everything in the industry, including that product launch. So, can you just tell the listeners and tell us a little bit about the idea behind that product, and if you want to maybe give it an extra plug, because I almost I think it just kind of got lost in that shuffle, obviously.
Yeah, Knock the F Out. This was a vision Rich had with so many athletes taking pre-workouts and just not being able to get good sleep. And when you sleep, you're able to recover and repair your muscles. So the goal was to create a powerful sleep aid with 8 milligrams of melatonin. We got some tryptophan in there, some 5-HTP, GABA, just a really powerful sleep aid. It tastes amazing. It's got a sleepy time herbal tea flavor. It's great. You could drink it cold or with warm water in a mug.
Nice.
And it works great. It's gonna relax you, ease yourself going to sleep, but at the same time you're not going to wake up groggy. It's an amazing product, great product, and a lot of people have been having a lot of success with that. Stacking it with Drink Sleep Grow, which is our nighttime amino product. So, and that product there, Rich wanted, with All Day You May, when it came out, it was such a new concept. And, back then, people were drinking aminos more for intra-workout. And, it took Rich to say, hey, you should be feeding your muscles all day long, not just during your workout or one other time. Which is why we came out with All Day You May. Is a product that you could sip on all day long. But at the same time, Rich said, well, when you're sleeping, we should still be feeding your muscles. And that's when he said, let's create a product that is a nighttime amino, something that's time released, that you could drink before you go to bed, and be able to release those aminos and the leucine all night long. While you're sleeping, you're still feeding your muscles the muscle building and ingredients as it needs to repair, recover, and rebuild. And that's where we came out with the Drink Sleep Grow.
Now with all these products, it sounds like you might have to make a bathroom break in the middle of the night. Like, do you have any personal preference on like just using just a little bit of water or like adding glycerol to it or something like that to keep you from having to go to the bathroom?
You know, that I guess everybody's a little different. You know, they're going to have to just kind of fine tune it to themselves. Some people it won't really affect. Others, they might just need to do a small little shot. But it's really, I think it's based on everybody's.
Yeah, but yeah, it seems worth doing if you're getting after it 100%, and you could just stack the products together and just take it down. The knock the F out formula looks pretty fun, and so on our channel, CJ sometimes is the one who likes a little bit of sleep assistance, so maybe we'll get him to review it.
Please, it's a great product. I take it myself. I love it. Yeah, I think he's definitely going to enjoy it and like it himself.
For sure. Okay, any other products on the horizon?
Yeah, one other product that Rich was really excited for is a keto bar. So we have our RF bar, which is our balanced real food bar. You know, it's 20 grams of protein, mid-30s of the carbs, about 10 grams of fat. A very good balanced bar for a bodybuilder that is looking to maintain and put on size and muscle mass. But there are people out there that are trying to lose weight, and they're looking for more of a low carb option. And keto is something that Rich is a diet that he would do quite a bit. So he wanted to create a nutritional bar that was a keto bar. So we created we have two flavors, and they're amazing bars. Also using egg whites and real food to create the product. So it's the same concept, real food. These products taste amazing. With us being able to go a little bit heavier on the fats for it being a keto, they just very moist, delicious taste. We got double chocolate chip, and then we also got peanut butter chocolate chip. And we're excited for those to come out too. So we're actively working on the labels in the box, but the actual bar themselves have been finalized, and they were actually finalized even prior to Rich's passing.
Oh, okay, great to hear. Yeah, so as someone who's been through the keto diet, like something like that is definitely hugely helpful. The honest truth is I've lost too much weight with the keto diet, a little bit of muscle mass because it works so well. I mean, especially for, I don't know, with my genetics at least. And I think in order to properly keto diet and not lose your gains, you need to be all over your calories, because it is easy to fast and not eat. And as for me at least, I'm not an eater. So I can go a day with, if I'm under 100 grams of protein in a day, then I'm going to look very, very, very flat, and I'm going to look like an Ethiopian the next day. And that's kind of what's happened to me. And so I'm starting to realize that if I want to get back in and do this seriously, I need support from stuff like that, where people make these little fat bombs and everything, and you can't allow yourself to, like, once you have the ketones rolling, you don't have a huge appetite sometimes, and you can't let that destroy your gains like it did for me. So, like, I have no problem relying on tools like that. So I'm really excited to see how that works and give it a test and everything. So glad to hear.
Awesome.
The idea on the keto diet brings up the point of the meal plans. What's been the latest update on that? I really haven't talked to you about that for a while.
Yeah, with the meal plan, we actually just redesigned all of our meals, and we're very excited to in a sense relaunch it with these new recipes, improved recipes. I'm eating them regularly. Our team here is eating them regularly, and we could tell a huge difference. So we're excited. We've improved many different aspects of that area, and we're just really excited to be able to, in a sense, relaunch that with the new recipes, and we'll be coming out with new meals. That's our ultimate goal, is come out with new meals monthly and really get that those great meals out to the fans and the followers.
Good. So will existing subscribers will they just start receiving the new stuff, or do they have to choose different plans? How's the logistics?
Nope, they'll be able to. A lot of the meals stay the same. They've just been the recipes have been improved and tweaked.
Cool.
So if they want to continue getting the same meals, they will. Otherwise, they'll always be able to go into the back end be able to select different meals if they want to try different meals.
Gotcha. And so, yeah, one of the feedback items, the keto meals I enjoyed, but then that was when I wasn't really in keto. Now that I look back at that, those meals definitely wouldn't have kept me, at least personally, in ketosis. Have any of those macros been reworked at all? It seems like, for me at least, the fat wasn't high enough. And it's not necessarily just a low-carb diet, but it's also a high-fat diet, like very high fat. Has any of that been retooled?
Yeah, with the redesigning of the recipes, the macros have changed. So once again, they're trying to fine-tune for the objective of each of the different plans that we have available.
Good. Okay. Yeah, we'd love to check that out. And if we need to update our old blog post, we're happy to do so. So let me, I'm on your newsletter. So let me know when you have something for us to do there, and we'd be happy to test it out.
Definitely will do.
Okay. Well, yeah, that all sounds super interesting. And once again, condolences, for your loss and everything, loss of your business partner, loss of your good friend, and I don't know if that was on the beginning of this phone call before I started recording, so I just wanted to repeat that and everything. Is there anything else you'd like to say? Anything we didn't cover that you wanted to cover? Any?
No, we're just, it was very sad in Rich's passing. But just kind of recap what I said before is, our ultimate goal now is to keep it, this movement, the 5% movement, Rich's name, and his legacy alive. And that's what, our goal is. And we have a great team here, and, we rally together, and we want to continue to push and create innovative products and continue to create some great content and go to the shows and interact with the fans and the followers and be able to keep Rich's name alive.
Great. Well, yeah, Pete, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk about this. I want to say, on a personal note, that I've enjoyed working with you. It's the first time actually talking, but you are always on your A game. You're fast to respond to stuff. You have it together, and so I think people need to hear that. It wasn't Rich fulfilling orders necessarily. He was the vision, but it was really you doing a lot of the operations, and a lot of that's not going to change. And there's not, just some scammer guy taking over now, and that's just not how it is, because that sometimes happens when a brand has a major change. And so I wanted to repeat that myself.
Thank you, Mike. I do appreciate that. Yeah, this is something that we started 3.5 years ago, and I'm very passionate about. I lay in kind of a hidden from the public eye, but my passion is the operations. I love working with our team here. We work very hard to build a great staff and a positive environment, and I just love this journey that we've been on and growing this company and working with such a talented man in Rich, and he was an amazing athlete, but he was a smart, savvy businessman. He was always on his game, and we had some amazing conversation, amazing ideas. We worked extremely well together, and we were able to grow 5%, and just very grateful to just have this opportunity, really.
Great, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I also wanted to add that all the decisions you kind of made, like you are bringing the athletes, but you want them to be themselves. You're going to continue to promote like the legacy and the vision of Rich, but not try to replace Rich. Like all the stuff, and then continuing with the product lines that pass the Rich test. Everything you're doing and everything you're saying is what I personally agree with, and so I hope you stick with it, and I wish you the best of luck. I'm happy with everything you've kind of said in this phone call, so that should be exciting for all the 5%ers out there, who just don't want to see something get watered down in the name of eking out every last profit, which happens, sometimes. It doesn't seem like that's going to happen, and so if you stay true to these words on this call, I'm excited for the future. And looking forward to see the new content and the new products.
Awesome. I appreciate it, Mike. Thank you very much for just giving this opportunity to talk to you and kind of getting our story out a little bit.
Welcome to PricePlow.